There we go. What is happening, y'all? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. I hope you all are having a great day today. Making sure all my stuff is all synced in here. Yeah, I hope you all are having a great day today. A lot to discuss within this hour. We have some more. I feel as though it's like a never-ending saga happening over at Fox Sports. But of course, more people keep on responding uh after hearing the allegations. A lot of folks in the public has shared their thoughts and opinions on it, so we will get to discuss that. Also, I know we never got to speak on a couple of stories that was going on in the church, so I'm going to be speaking on a couple of stories in the beginning of the show, a little early on in the show. What else do we got? We have okay, Steven, aka Twitch Boss. If y'all don't remember who Twitch was the kind of the sidekick for, I believe, almost 7 years, maybe longer than that. On Ellen DeGeneres' show, he was a famous celebrity choreographer. He was from that show, So You Think You Can Dance. We all witnessed him into stardom there, and then he went on to have a great career just working in media, his own platform, working with Ellen. And he was doing it, you know what I mean? He was doing such a great job and great success. And it was so sad because he died suddenly from suicide. He had taken his life, and it was, it started to be mentioned that he was living with some demons, and it was a struggle that that exists in our society. A lot of people struggle with depression, and it was to the point where folks do commit this act, and it's extremely sad. And we want to speak on it because we want you to know that there is help, there is assistance there. If you need to speak with somebody, you can. And I'll actually a little later on the show, I'll put up the number for the hotline for that. And then later on we'll talk a little bit about Meta if we have some time, as well as TikTok. So I hope you all stay with me within this hour. Again, you are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule, because you could be doing so much other things with your precious time. You could be doing something totally different than just to kick back and listen to me, talk. But I appreciate it because I don't look at it as just me talking into the microphone. I look at it as having a conversation with the people, the listeners, the viewers out there. And so that's how I embrace this show. That's why I love doing it. I love doing this show. New episodes drop Monday through Fridays. Okay, weeknights, Monday through Fridays. On available on all digital and streaming platforms. Whichever podcast platform that you like to consume in, whether that's Spotify, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, I already said Spotify, Apple. Wherever you get your podcasts or listen to your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. You can also watch us via streaming platforms of YouTube and Rumble. Okay, our YouTube channel is the Arrington Gavin Show, as well as on Rumble. You can also listen to us on our radio affiliate, WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk, out of the Metro Atlanta area, Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as online at WDJYFM.com. So multiple ways you can tune to the show. And yeah, we're gonna get it going. But before we do that, let's go ahead and acknowledge some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show. Let's see who we're gonna showcase today. We're gonna talk about our friends over at Bernardo's Menswear. That's right, my friends, Bernardo's Menswear. Attention, this is for the gentlemen out here. Attention, Gentlemen, it's time to elevate your wardrobe at Bernardo's Menswear. We believe style isn't just about clothes, it's about making a statement. From tailored suits that fit like a dream to casual essentials that define effortless sophistication, Bernardo's has it all. Weddings, interviews, or a night out on the town. They've got you covered. Go ahead and visit Bernardo's Menswear today because first impressions matter. Styles yours with us. Be sure, my friends, to check out Bernardo's Menswear. Bernardo's Menswear is sharp, timeless. Find them online at www.bernardosmenswear.com, or you can check out their store location in Norfolk, Virginia. If you happen to be in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, be sure to visit them in person in their store location on the first floor of the MacArthur Mall, located in the heart of downtown Norfolk, and let them know that Arrington sent you. I'm telling you, they have some amazing threads, whether business casual, formal, you name it. This is a spot that you need to check out. So again, I want to thank Bernardo's Menswear for being a proud supporter of the Arrington Gavin show. All right, my friends, we are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have our fun fact of the day, and then we're going to get going with some of these stories. So don't go anywhere. You are tuning in to the Arrington Gavin show. What is happening, my friends? What is happening? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show. Let's get it going with our fun fact of the day. You know, it's our little tradition. We like to start it off before we get going with some of these topics. On today's fun fact, did you know that King Henry VIII slept with a gigantic axe beside him? Now, a lot of y'all, King Henry VIII had a lot of enemies. A lot of enemies. And made a lot of enemies, right? So I take it that he probably did not trust a lot of people to the point where he had to sleep with a gigantic axe. And again, being superior like that, you're like, hey, look, there's moments where I got to go to war. I got to know how to fight myself and not just have security. Like in today's day and age, when you have people in higher higher elected officials, you have security. You don't have to worry about sleeping with this and that. But I think it's interesting because you have that now. People who are not famous, people who don't apparently, I'm saying, allegedly have enemies and people after them, sleep with weapons, right? We live in a gun cultured society. I'm all for protecting your household. I'm all for, hey, have a piece or have I'll say no more than like a few or a couple of weapons. I'm different compared to a lot of folks. I have people in my family that are gun owners that own multiple. One of my closest friends has loads, okay, loads of guns. And I'm just like, give me two, right? I won't say exactly what kind I want, but just give me two. I haven't, I'm that person where I take it with the Lord. All right. If I gotta defend myself, I defend myself. I'll scrap if I need to. Hopefully it doesn't have to get to that level. I've only been in a couple fights in my lifetime and I hope to keep it that way. Um, but yeah, sleeping with a gigantic axe, that is interesting. So for all you historians out there, I remember I used to watch a show, kind of sidebar. When I was in middle school, I used to watch a show called the tutors or the tutors. And it was a show that was really was more of an adult based program. I don't think I really was of age that should have been watching it, but it was on Showtime, and I think it was on for like maybe 5 or 6 seasons, and it was about King Henry and and his lifestyle and all this other stuff, and it was perfect timing because a lot of stuff that I was learning in history class was stuff that I saw on the show, so it was kind of like a you know uh, uh my own little cheat sheet of notes that helped me out during the time being. But yeah, that was our fun fact of the day. So let's go ahead and get it going with some of our stories. Let me go ahead and chop it up about this story I came across my feed on social media that I'm like, whoa, I gotta talk about this. So Pastor EJ Newton. Those who are listening right now, go ahead and look him up as I pull up my pull up my notes. Pastor EJ Newton. I think he's a fairly known minister on social media. I feel as though a lot of I wouldn't consider him I guess you could call him a mega pastor. He has a huge following, a huge congregation, and during one of his sermons, he was uh detained. He was, there were officers that were there, and while he was speaking, he's like, "Wait, what? What's happening here?" So let me go ahead and there we go. Let me pull up this soundbite for you. For those who are watching, can actually watch the full clip. But give me a second as I pull up this story, because one thing, y'all, what I'm catching is everybody want to go viral. Everybody wants to be viral. Now, I'm not saying this is that kind of pastor. I think it's more issues and reason why the police showed up during his sermon. Obviously they sent out a message, hey, I don't care if if you're doing this or doing that. No, we gotta take you in. And so let me show you this video first, and then I will speak a little bit of speak more of it in context.
Your mind. I can't touch your mind. Look at your neighbor really quickly and touch their mind. Look at your neighbor quickly and touch their mind. Everything okay? Perry, is everything okay there? Is everything okay? Sorry?
Like,
I'm in to speak to you for a second. Absolutely. I'll be right back, church. I'm sorry. No worries. You guys just pray.
Let me tell you something. That joker closed that Bible because he's like, I knew what time it was. He was expecting it. He's always acting all shocked. Is everything okay? Is everything good? No? Yes? Is everything okay?
Is everything okay?
Do you mind coming down and speaking with us for a second?
Sorry?
Do you mind coming down and speaking with us
I'm
for a
in to speak to
second?
you for a second.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank
I'll be
you.
right back, church.
Sorry for the interruption, everyone.
No worries. You guys just pray.
You can hear congregants in the church praying.
Hold your mind. I can't talk.
Okay, so let me go ahead and speak a little more of this. For those who are listening, they're like, okay, what was happening? Arrington's share. Could you please share with us? So this minister again, or Prophet EJ Newton, preaching during one of his morning services, only to be interrupted and called off the stage by police officers. The entire church reportedly went into lockdown, with authorities drawing their weapons, investigating an active kidnapping report. To read this more in the contents, it says here, His church is let's see, 433 church in Miami. He was stopped by someone off camera who requested to speak with him. He eventually set his microphone down and walked off the stage, encouraging the congregation to pray instead. Now, video footage shows Newton being met by Miami police officers who demanded to speak with him outside. On his Instagram, the preacher shared more footage of authorities outside the church explaining his side of the situation. I quote here, it says, this happened during service. I've been secluded by the police, not allowed to leave. The moment I stepped off stage, our online service was flooded with false accusations. They, the same people who recruited my ex-wife, are now working together. They have my ex-wife claiming that I'm trying to flee the country in the middle of the parenting schedule case. A judge granted an emergency extraction. They had people come also into the service, which we spotted. This whole thing has been so weird, but let me be clear. I am not fleeing. I never plan to go anywhere. Now they're searching members' cars and preventing them from leaving church grounds, he wrote in his lengthy post. This is a lot, guys. So obviously this is an issue happening with the, divorce, a parental battle, this and that. It's an ongoing divorce case, which is sad because why why does it have to get to that level? Why does it have to get to, on that uh um on that level where this man is preaching and literally being accused of kidnapping, which is with he's saying is not true. The big question that comes to my mind though is, should cops have waited until after the service? That is my uh big question. That is the big question. Um for me is, I've seen so many times where it's just the little things, like when say a officer pulls someone over for speeding, or you know uh um a street cop pulls someone over. um there might be four lanes off in the main street. You obviously have one outside lane on your left, one outside lane on your right. I've seen an officer stop somebody like in the middle, in one of the two lanes in the middle, where I'm like, couldn't y'all just pull over? Like, it causes, like, it's just it's little things like that. Now you probably say, Arrington, where you going with this? Where I'm going is the fact that when it comes to decision making with officers, and I'm not trying to bash the officers, because this pastor could very well be guilty and just sharing his side of the story, and a lot of people probably believe him because he's a minister. People have a heart more for ministers. Sometimes I'm not one of those people. But when it comes to proper decision making, if I would just say, what if, which no officer did, which is great, but what if an officer drew a gun at the pastor, if that pastor had refused to, can I please appreciate, if it was a back and forth and they got aggressive with him. I mean, you're in a crowd of folks. Now, I watch a lot of action movies, right? I watch a lot of films and in movies, action movies, that will have scenes where officers is like, okay, boom, that's the guy we want. And they might be like in a mall. That's the guy we want, but let's not make a scene because we don't want to have a whole stampede of folks running around the place, and now someone might get hurt. You know what I mean? So I just assumed that, especially you see a crowd of folks paying attention, whatever. I would assume that they could have easily said, hey, look, we're just gonna wait back here until the sermon's over, speak with him in his office, and then we're going from there. Because see, now his ex-wife got what she wanted, to embarrass him. Now I'm just playing two sides in this case. Maybe she was, maybe she knew that there was no kidnapping going on, but she wanted to embarrass him. That moment right there, just that whole officers coming, detaining you from the stage, that hurts your numbers. And if you look closely in the video, and I'll repost this on our social medias, but if you look closely in that video, he didn't have a lot of members in the congregation at that moment. Like, I mean, it was a nice setup, nice church, beautiful church. Again, to have a church in Miami, that's a privilege. It's a great city. But it looked like he was already hurt, and he's a young pastor, so he's in the building stage on trying to build up a congregation, and to continue to be like the next whoever, right, in ministry. So she got what she wanted, to embarrass him. Now it says here, apparently the gentleman's ex had been saying he kept the kids during a visit illegally, so that's why this had occurred. Again, if they see, and the officers did their job, because they're like, okay, where's his children? Where is it? Oh, he's right there. So they did their job. It's just, again, note to self is, I don't know, wait until the court case is finished. Maybe he should have been on pastors call it a sabbatical, basically like a vacation. Go on a vacation and wait until this whole process is finished, so then you can go into preaching. But it was just it was a bad look. Of course, it went viral. A lot of moments go viral, especially when it comes from the church. A lot of folks are like, "Oh, this is gonna be social media worthy right here," showing a pastor getting stopped by officers, or pulled aside from police officers on the pulpit, because in America, pastors have it, they have it bad sometimes, because a lot of folks don't want to believe, at least successful ministers that have a huge congregation, that that has security, that has nice clothes, drive nice cars. They don't want to believe that they are that they are passionate ministers, that they're just passionate about their craft and not about themselves. Because, hey, it does exist. We have ministers that are like to line their pockets and could care less about what they're doing to their congregation. No, you have people that are all for the money. Then you have those who are just successful and that are good at their craft, and that practice what they preach. So yes, that was a first story I wanted to share with you all. And then we're gonna stay in a theme of church. If let me go ahead and move it on. So, as I digress from this, Kirk Franklin. So a lot of y'all probably have heard of Kirk Franklin. He is a multi-award winning music producer, not just in gospel music, but I'm talking about music producer. He's a very well-respected man in the world of music. He's a legend in gospel music. I consider him a rock star. He is a person who has always changed the game culturally on the traditional, how gospel artists are supposed to act. Like, I feel like he changed the game for that and the culture. So there was a video recently that was shown of Kirk Franklin sitting down apologizing for acts that he did on stage during one of his concerts. Now, again, I consider him the rock star of gospel music. Kirk Franklin, he doesn't dress like the typical gospel artist. He doesn't dance like the typical artist. His sound of music, he's always going with the time. Sometimes he's even more ahead, but he's always pushing gospel music more forward thinking and not old school thinking. You know what I mean? From the beats, from the dances, from this, from that, the sounds. I mean, he will mix sounds from secular songs, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think that's a great thing, because being a believer myself, I know it can be difficult to rear to pull young people to go in the church, right? First thing they say is, "Oh, it's boring. It's this and that. I'm tired. It's on a Sunday. I want to sleep in on my weekend. This and the other." Um, Kurt makes it more acceptable for folks that is not originally, born and raised in the church. He makes it more acceptable. The different swag, the different, slang, the different, just always staying fun and hip. That is Kirk Franklin. Let me go ahead and pull this video of him explaining a little bit, and then it's going to show I think why Kirk Franklin is also apologizing as well. So stay with me as I grab that clip for you. There we go. You know what sucks, guys? So I forgot my chapstick today, and it is cold as I don't know what outside. And the worst time to forget your chapstick is in the coldest climate. All right. And I'm a chapstick fanatic. I always have chapstick like everywhere. And so I'm like over here to look at my lips like nom, 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 nom. So I don't think I'm crazy or I'm on something. I'm literally just like, I forgot my chapstick. All right, let me play the soundbite for you all, and we'll talk on the other side.
Earlier this year, I had the great opportunity to go to Jamaica. Beautiful place. And I had a chance to perform. Watch.
So I don't know if y'all saw that, but but Kirk Franklin was twerking on stage. All right.
Attire, which as a team we thought was going to be fine, being outside in the weather, was going to be something that would not come across as disrespectful. And since I've spent most of my career dancing and moving around and jumping on stage, that I didn't know that I would ever do anything that would ever offend anyone in any community, but it did. And because it did, I sincerely apologize. I sincerely apologize because I never want to get to a place that I can't learn what I need to do better, what I can do different to make sure that as I grow as a man, grow physically or in any aspect, that I'm always being humble enough and submissive enough to hear people and their concerns about anything being bigger than the message of Jesus. Because it doesn't matter what my goal and intent is. If I'm louder than the message of Jesus, then I failed. Earlier this year, I had the great opportunity.
So let's dissect what Mr. Kirk Franklin was explaining there. So he it's funny. What he was saying was, yes, Kirk Franklin, he does do a lot. I will say Kirk Franklin has always been that guy. He's always dancing like James Brown. He's always, he'll be Millie rocking and singing gospel music. He'll do whatever. He'll do a lot. But again, he's a rock star. It's the energy. I don't think that Kurt is, and plus trust me, he's had plenty of opportunities to say, no, I'm going to leave this genre and go to a different genre. No, he's stuck with gospel because he knows that's his calling. He knows that's his calling. Kirk Franklin is a legend. He is an American treasure in my opinion. I mean, like 90s, early 2000s. I mean, just Kirk killed the game when it came to gospel. He made gospel music so fun and hip. I mean, even for secular artists to be like, that's my boy right there. And he's very well respected. There was a video showed Usher at one of his concerts. He had invited Kirk Franklin to come on stage, and he was singing one of his old classics on stage with Usher. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. But I will say, Kurt does he does too much. Like, you don't need to be twerking, Kurt, during a gospel concert. I don't know what song you were performing, but you do not need to be twerking for the Lord. All right, that's just no. That is not a good sign, bro. And see, Kirk done hit the gym. He been eating them weights, so he would wear like tanks, sleeveless shirts on stage, almost showing nipple. All right, let's be honest. He almost showing nipple. I do think you have to be aware of your audience. You really do. Because some folks, there are, you got the traditional, believers out there, your Kojics, your AMC, I'm, all the denomination, religious folks, from that era. Um, it's a lot that he receives a lot of backlash. Now, here's why I even enjoy Kirk more. So this is maybe like a few years ago, maybe even longer than that. He was having an issue with in a family issue. I think his oldest child, there was a argument going on, and his oldest child ended up recording his voice. Man, let me tell you something. Kirk was like, "Let me tell you something, don't you ever." And he said, after I'm like, oh my goodness, Kirk. Oh my, but he's human. He's human. People in in the Christian faith, in the Christian community, no one's perfect. People party, do all that stuff, but by Sunday by Sunday, they go to church, they read their word. By Wednesday, they go to Bible study. By Saturday, it's like they're human people. And that's why I think it's disgusting the fact that Kirk Franklin even has to apologize for this. I really think that he shouldn't even apologize for it. If you don't like it, then go buy your business. But I do respect him doing so, because he's like saying, no, I was doing too much. I mean, because like I said, twerking is one thing, but apologizing for your attire in Jamaica, hot as hell weather, you don't need to apologize for that, Kurt. Like I said, you in shape. You can wear that. I bet you if any of them artists, was in shape like you, they'll be wearing that stuff. Come on now. The only reason why they cover and wearing suits and stuff, because look, the after service meals, that fried chicken, and got some music, the meals is all soul food and not healthy for us. Come on now. People need to calm down. Let me read before I digress from the story. I didn't know if you ever heard of this, but it's such thing as the Christian Post. This article is reported by the Christian Post. As I read, says here that it took him just over 8 months, but gospel artist Kirk Franklin has publicly apologized after drawing the of conservative Christians in Jamaica for gyrating and flexing his biceps while ministering in a tank top and shorts at a popular annual Christian concert on the island last April. Give me a break, folks. Are you kidding me? The concert billed Fun in the Sun, but Fun in the Sun, as in Son of God, is sponsored by Best Dressed Chicken, a brand of the company Jamaica Broilers Group, which is well known for their commitment to Judeo-Christian values. Franklin, who is no stranger to performing, explained in a video shared on YouTube that he wasn't aware that the way he was dressed to minister would have been seen as disrespectful, but he knows now. He mentioned, "I'm aware now that my choice of attire, which as a team, we thought it was going to be fine being outside in the weather, was going to be something that would not come across as disrespectful." He posted that video that I shared with you all. That was actually a 16-minute video he dedicated to addressing moments that had people talking in 2024. He also said, "I've spent most of my career dancing and moving around and jumping on stage that I didn't know that I would ever do anything that would ever offend anyone in any community." He's very true. Again, conservative Christians, listen to me here, because there's conservative Christians that are MAGA supporters. Trump supporters. I'll repeat. There are conservative Christians that are Trump supporters. And in my opinion, I don't want to hear it. If you're supporting this man, do not preach the word to me if you're supporting that man. I won't go into too many details. Let me go back to this article. Kirk Franklin, 54 years old, probably in the best shape of his life. He is a rock star. He is the forward movement of gospel music. He's the one that keeps gospel music alive and spread out to all age groups in all different countries. When I tell you, I witnessed firsthand his reunion tour. When I tell you, this man's tour was like you might as well would have gone to a Beyonce concert, or I'm just saying you were in the presence of a rock star. Now, Miney had other great people featured on that marquee. It was him, Fred Hammond, who I absolutely adore, the Clark sisters, Marvin Sapp, Yolanda Adams, as well as Kiki Sheard. Kirk Franklin is a legend. He does not need to apologize for jack squat. All right, that's just me, and that's my 2 cents that I want to share with you all. But Kirk, I will leave it at this: you do too much. Please don't shake your behind on stage. Not for the Lord. Don't twerking for the Lord. Ooh. Man, first of all, no man should be twerking. Let me just repeat. No man should be twerking. All right. Especially for the Lord. Even God said, Kirk, you doing too much. You doing too much. You ain't got to twerk. Flexing is one thing, because a lot of his songs said, it uses the term strength and strong, but I don't know where in his music it said to twerk. Oh my goodness gracious. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, my friends. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. We have more show for you all. So don't go anywhere. You are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
What is happening? 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 All right, let's get it going with our next story. I don't know if y'all have heard, but Meta, which is owned by Mark Zuckerberg, originally I think that was originally Facebook, but Meta owns Facebook and Instagram and all other entities. They recently announced that they will be ending its fact-checking program in favor of a community's note system similar to X. Now, what I have been catching is that a lot of the billionaires, men like Jeff Bezos, obviously Elon Musk, but also Mark Zuckerberg, a lot of them are starting to just kiss the ring of our 47th president, Donald Trump. Now, why is that? Why is that? And a lot of people are asking, why is billionaires like the ones I just mentioned all of a sudden, somewhat siding or just letting siding with Trump on in this case, right? So let me explain. Give me 1 second, Mark. Uh, so there's things that are, for example, it could stem from their interactions with political figures to navigate regulatory challenges, right? Protecting their business interests, or influence public policy. Um, Here's a few things that has come up on. I've just typed it in as we were talking. Okay, so regulatory concerns. Now, billionaires running tech companies or large corporations are often deal with government scrutiny over issues like antitrust laws, taxes, and labor regulations. Um, on the political influence side, engaging with political leaders allows business executives to advocate for policies favorable to their industry, such as tax breaks, reduced regulations, or trade policies. All right. One more I'll mention. Okay, public perception and access. Okay, the public interaction with prominent leaders like Trump can position CEOs as influential figures on the global stage, similar to Elon Musk. I mean, come on, everybody has said Elon Musk is the guy that really helped Trump get into office, right? He's the guy that helped get Trump into office. Let me read you this article reported by NBC News. It says here that it speaks about the fact checking program that they are ending, which I I don't I don't think it's smart to say, okay, they're copying uh a strategy from X. Now, X, formerly known as Twitter, is still probably the largest social media platform in the world. Most likely, it is. But if you go on X right now, X is you see a lot of wow comments that people leave. I mean, like, in my opinion, it's like, what are you saying? People can say whatever they want, and just there's never going to be any more fact checking. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Says here that recently Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced a series of major changes to the company's moderation policies and practices, citing a shifting political and social landscape and a desire to embrace free speech. Okay, now Zuckerberg said recently that Meta will end its fact checking program with trusted partners and replace it with a community driven system similar to X Community Notes. The company is also making changes to its content moderation policies around political topics and undergoing changes that reduce the amount of political content in user feeds. The changes will affect Facebook and Instagram, two of the largest social media platforms in the world, each boasting billions of users, as well as Threads. I forgot Threads is like the new version of Twitter. In another video, he mentioned he meaning Zuckerberg. He says we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of our fact checkers, and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. When you hear yourself say we're going to get rid of fact checks or fact checkers, why? I would love to embrace fact checkers because it's facts. It helps educate folks. It helps bring awareness and all, not nonsense. I mean, I don't like they're gonna consistently just keep dumbing down society because they're not gonna give proper. Look, I gotta fact check myself. I gotta have people fact check me because here on this show, what I will say, this guys, I'm not spewing out lies, but you will hear my opinion majority of the show. It's an opinionated based platform, but I keep it real with you. I give you my honest opinion because why? It's a conversation. I'm not here to be like spewing out knowledge. I hope conversations you can learn something from this. I want to make it entertaining but also fun at the same time. I mean, entertaining but also informative at the same time. So again, I just don't understand the whole get rid of fact checkers. I just think that's interesting. It says here he also pointed to the election as a major influence on the company's decision and criticized governments and legacy media for allegedly pushing the censor more and more. Now, I'm not a huge fan of legacy media. I don't like how we have media platforms that are biased platforms, but I understand that we need them in our world, if that makes sense. Like, I might not like your CNNs or your Fox News or your MSNBCs because they have a agenda base, right? But guess what? I know they still have to exist because guess what? It's because it shows that those individuals are passionate about their personal belief. I do hope though that we do have, I do like it when, say like at the time MSNBC was gonna hire the former RNC chair. I would have thought that would have been a good addition because you want to have a variety of voices. Now, if make it like a 60-40 kind of thing or like a 80-20 kind of thing, but don't make it a 99 and to a 1% kind of thing. You know what I mean? Don't make it, just don't cause divisionists. Share your piece, but also allow others, speak speak what's on their mind. But I'm curious to see how this is going to work, seeing if it will help out with with Facebook and Instagram and Threads. I'm curious. I'm very curious to see how this will this change will either benefit or not benefit. Again, I see a lot of changes from billionaires as far as having, I think Zuckerberg was having dinner not too long ago at Mar-a-Lago. Again, I've said Bezos, and we already see Elon. Like, I mean, it's going to be a billionaire takeover. I mean, that's all that it is. My question will always be, okay, what are you going to do for the working class folks? Like, how is that? What is this supposed to help? I mean, it's going to help your company, but I mean, like, what else is new? What else is going to be happening? Are you going to start saying, well, you know what? We're going to buy ownership into Truth Social, or we're going to just combine all the social medias with X? Like, what's going to be the next thing, dude? So that was let me digress from this story. Says here, I'm reading a comment. Okay, so let me go ahead and digress from this. Moving on to another story. Let's see how I'm gonna look at what time. Let's see. Let me go ahead and move it on to more on the Fox Sports scandal. So recently, this jerk of a individual by the name of Jason Whitlock. For those who are not familiar who Jason Whitlock is, he is a what do you even call him? He's a sports journalist turned political pundit, conservative talker. He's just a really, he's a weird dude. That's all I can say. He's a weird dude. I remember when he started with on ESPN. He was on there for a minute. Then he was on FS1. He was kind of like, again, the conservative voice in sports. Then he left and went on with Glenn Beck's network called Blaze TV or Blaze Media. He has his own show called Fearless, I believe that's what it's called, with Jason Whitlock. It's a dumb show, honestly. I mean, he has his fan base that loves him, but it's no promotion. I mean, I'm sorry, in my opinion, it's no promotion. He's being looked as a clown countless and countless of times, and this very video right here explains why he is more of a clown than you could expect. He went viral by sharing his take on the whole Fox News court case. Fox Sports court case going on right now that has involved the names of former personality Skip Bayless, the executive of Fox Sports, I believe Charlie Dixon is his name, and then also they had mentioned two other personalities in that case, Emmanuel Acho and Joy Taylor. So this is what came out the mouth of Jason Whitlock. So listen to this, and we'll chop it up a little bit on the other side.
I'm capable of, and that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly. It's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Like, Jay, keep your distance. I know what I'm capable of. And that big rack of her.
So I have a bad taste in my mouth because of those comments. Like, the nerve of this dude who and this is again, involving this case right here, as you see the individuals. The comments that man said on a outlet, again, he knows his audience. He knows that's what they paid for him to see bigger. He's the only African American, I believe, with a or he's the only black man on there with the program on Blaze, a very far right leaning network. He's the problem. He really is what's wrong with the world. I mean, really, he truly is a he's a disgraced human being. I'm sorry. I really don't know how else to put it. There was a feud between him and Stephen A. There's a video where Stephen A. just went ham on. I mean, this guy. I'm really trying to hold my tongue on Jason Whitlock, but let me share a little bit about this on this article. I'll read it in the context. This is reported by Yahoo Entertainment. Jason Whitlock made his they wrote here. Jason Whitlock made his feelings clear about Joy Taylor in response to the Fox Sports lawsuit involving the journalist. Now, in the latest episode of his show, Fearless with Jason Whitlock, which I've already played you that clip, so I'm not going to repeat it too much. Whitlock admitted that he knew and got along with the individual that made the lawsuit, or that filed the lawsuit, when he worked at the network, but claimed that he never revealed himself personally to her. He put, let's see. That I was a fan of the individual, thought she was a good person. He recalled, did I think that she and all the women in hair and makeup at Fox Sports needed to be handled carefully? Yes, I did. Anybody that knew me and knew my reputation at Fox Sports, it was like, hey, I'm going to come into the makeup room. I'm going to say very little because I'm not going to give any of you leverage over me. I'm not going to make a mistake and allow some women I know a little bit, but don't really know, to have leverage over me. Ain't nobody want you, Jason. Like, this man's talking about, like, oh, they gonna get me. Look at me. I'm a stud. Obviously, I'm an easy target. Please. Jason Whitlock then began discussing Bayless and Taylor's involvement in the lawsuit, remarking the social media was initially focused on the former. However, it has shifted then attention to Taylor's alleged workplace bullying and being intimidated with her bosses to get ahead and host Undisputed as a reward. Whitlock took aim at Taylor, claiming she's a symbol of this whole feminist movement and the DEI movement. This guy is insane. I'm like loose. I like want to just throw this chair across the room. Like, again, this is a black man who has a huge issue with DEI, by the way, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which, hey, it's not uncommon for black people to have an issue with that, but he is an individual. I will tell you this. The times I've tried, because I'm that person where I want to support all people of color in their endeavors, right? I'll check it. So whenever I try to, like, okay, let me give it a go. Let me check it out. No, I can't. No. Every time I watch it, he's insulting people of color all the time. Successful people that didn't have nothing to do with him. He always has a freaking issue. Now he's talking about this girl, her complexion of her skin, this huge, like, really, dude? Really? What a pig. What a disgusting pig. He pointed to Taylor allegedly sleeping with the executive the executive vice president as a consequence of sharing everything with women. I mean, I'm sorry. This guy, y'all, this guy is I don't know. I don't even know how to even finish this segment, to be honest, y'all. Again, these are all allegations. That's the sad part when you have idiots like Jason Whitlock as well as Antonio Brown, because he said some cold stuff as well about this whole thing, really targeting to Miss Taylor. But these are all allegations. Now I get it. Look, I have an opinion-based program as well. But Whitlock, man, how about you get a life? How about you, I don't know, act your age? Why is it that, okay, you see it more profitable, you working in the right-wing media, doing the total, I don't know what the hell you're doing, because you never talk. I mean, you rarely discuss sports, because obviously you think you're well deserved and speaking on other stuff, but it shows that no, you're not. Like, no one really cares. I'm sorry. Like, just you sir, all you are is just you just what am I? I'm gonna just pause right now, take a sip, because I got like about a minute left. Matter of fact, perfect time, and I'll continue this on possibly on the next show. But y'all keep your boy in prayer. Keep me, not Jason Wood, like me, because he got me hot after just again discussing. Y'all, do me a favor, continue to tune to the Arrington Gavin Show. I wish I can give it to you straight a little better today. I was all around the place, but please continue to support the Arrington Gavin Show. Follow us on Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show and all social media platforms at the Arrington Gavin Show. Watch us Monday through Fridays, available on all digital and streaming platforms, as well as our radio affiliate WDJY 99.1 FM, Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Peace and blessings, y'all. I will talk to y'all soon. Look, I'm out.